An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style, like at Bohogstadt. No, I don't think so. Right. Okay. I think this is the last one.
That's right, Kate Walker. You have to go back and activate the piano on the square like the rector asked you.
It looks like the rector is desperate to reduce the costs of running the academy. Excuse me? Hello?
Now what?
There's just one problem. Even if I do manage to fix all the different parts of the mechanical orchestra, I still have to play the piano properly, and I haven't played piano since I left junior high. My mom bought me one when I was a kid, but it really wasn't my strong suit.
There's no need to worry. You don't need to be a virtuoso to activate the mechanism. The mechanical orchestra will come out if you play all the notes in the right order, regardless of the rhythm. You just need to know the basics of music reading.
Why is the academy going to close?
For the simple reason that we have no students. No students, no lessons. No lessons, no academy.
And why are there no students? That's not a stupid question.
Because the mayor has taken away our grant that enabled our institution to become famous the world over.
Why would he do that?
Oh, budget restrictions, apparently. So, no staff, no students.
No students, no lessons. I get it.
But, between you and me and this counter, I'd say that's all just a pretext to get us out of the building.
And why would anyone want to do that?
To make others rich, of course. Property developers who are going to slice our institution up into shops, apartments, and office spaces, just like they've done with all the other buildings around the musical square.
I see you're not a fan of modernizing the square.
Oh, the council, in its great wisdom, deemed it outdated and unpredictable for the musical automatons to be triggered by the best student in the academy, or a soloist, or a virtuoso visiting Vaghen. Not to mention buskers, they certainly don't attract any tourists. No, what they thought was they would electrify and computerize the activation of the mechanical concert. So it would happen on a schedule, like an attraction.
Did they do it?
Oh, the talks went on, but nothing was ever done, and so the square has basically been abandoned. And the mechanical automatons have fallen into disrepair.
I better get going then.
Quite. Good luck with the mechanisms, Fraulein.
It looks like this wheel is designed to activate the piano's engine, thanks to the dynamo effect, Kate Walker.
Then I guess I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on again. Poor little thing.
There is no need to get sentimental, Kate Walker. The automaton was made for a specific purpose. It has no notion of sentiment. Indeed, I would go as far to say that it was a basic monofunctional...
Broken.
Wait, Kate Walker! I am a highly evolved automaton!
Yes, and built to serve several purposes. Off you go now.
I see. You still haven't lost any of your irritating habits, Kate Walker.
Look on the bright side, Oscar. Thanks to you, the piano works now.
Well, hurry up and make use of it like the rector said. Is everything all right, Kate Walker?
It's the same. Exactly the same.
I beg your pardon?
The song I just played with the automatons, Vaghen's hymn, it's exactly the same melody as the one my mom's music box used to play. I used to listen to it all the time when I was a kid. We never did find out what it was.
And finding it today represents a major breakthrough, because?
Because it means that there must be a link between Vaghen, my mom, and probably Dana, too. Dana, who looks so much like me.
Ah, a family connection then.
I don't know, but it's possible. And you can be sure as hell that I'm gonna find out as soon as I've picked up Dana's trail again. Come on, Oscar. Our dear Mahler owes us a file.
Did I already mention how humiliating I think this is?
Oh, you did, Oscar. You did.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed your concert so much. Now I can retire fulfilled.
Glad to have been of service. I believe you have a file for me.
Of course, of course. Here it is. Dana Roze, just like you asked.
Thanks. At last! Oh, no address here. Oh, this is definitely Dana's file. Now... Dana's home address in 1937. A detached house, it seems. Number 20, Brücke del Nebel. The Bridge of Mists, huh?
Found what you were looking for?
I think so. Well, thank you. And goodbye.
No, thank you, Fraulein.
is a very unpleasant way of traveling, Kate Walker.
I know, Oscar. I promise I'll let you out as soon as possible, okay? Okay, Oscar. Now we have to find Dana's old house.
Do you recall the number, Kate Walker?
According to her registration form from the Music Academy, the bridge is exactly the same as it was back in the 1930s. Except that it's cleaner. It looks almost new, as if it had been renovated. Looks like the residents on the bridge are pretty mad at the town council. There's number 20. Dana's old house. Souvenirs here look more upmarket than the ones I've seen elsewhere.
Guten Tag, Fräulein.
All our gifts are handmade by craftsmen in Vaghen. Made in Vaghen. more gifts. I would have preferred it to still be full of paintings, I think.
On holiday in the region, Fraulein?
Just passing through.
Well, welcome to my little gift shop. Frau Heigl at your service. I noticed you were looking at a souvenir, Fraulein.
Yes, you have a wonderful choice here, Frau Heigl. Your shop is beautiful.
Thank you. All our souvenirs here are pieces of craftsmanship, as we like to say. All by local craftsmen. Do you wish to buy the souvenir, Fraulein?
Well, I'm actually looking for someone, not something. Someone who used to live in this house, and I was wondering if you could help.
Well, there were quite a few owners before I bought the shop last autumn, so I can't really...
So her name was Dana Roze. She lived here before the war. I was hoping to find some kind of trace of her here, so I could continue my search.
I see. Well, I have heard of the Roses, but I can't say if there's anything left of them inside the house.
But don't you live here?
No, my husband and I live in the suburbs. You see, the bridge was sacked just before the war, during the pogrom against the Vagrants. Oh, truly awful events. And then the neighbourhood was bombed, just after the war during the liberation. And many of the houses were damaged, including this one. They were hastily renovated after the war, but they remain mostly derelict.
You mentioned a pogrom against this neighborhood's Vaghen community. Can you tell me more?
As much as anyone who knows anything about Vaghen, I guess. It happened in 1938, if I recall correctly. A few months after Austria and Ostertal were annexed by the Brown Shadow.
What happened?
Well, the Brown Shadow organised riots against Vagrants on false pretexts. It led to pogroms throughout all the annexed countries, including this house.
Were the Roses home when it all happened?
Like I said, Fraulein, I don't know, but I hope not.
Well, it doesn't look like the house was damaged from what I can see. Your shop is charming, and so is the rest of the district.
Thank you. That's because after the initial renovation, the council financed major rehabilitation work on the facades. But if the truth be told, they left the proprietors to foot the bill for our interiors. That's why my husband and I had to spend all our savings so that the shop interior shows the same high standard that we demand of our suppliers.
That's a shame.
Yes, And if the council persists in refusing to help fund the renovation works, there won't be any residents left on the bridge, let alone independent quality stores like mine. There'll be nothing left but bland franchise stores, like the one further along the bridge or on the musical square.
So between the pogrom, the bombing, and the whole house being renovated, there's little chance of me finding any trace of the Rozes.
It's not quite like that. To be honest, we didn't have the funds to renovate the rest of the house, so we used the upper floors for storing.
Really?
And now that you mention it, I do recall coming across old photographs from before the war, here and there in the house. The successive owners didn't want to throw them out, and I suppose they must have left them there.
Would you mind if I went upstairs to take a look? Unless you would kindly bring the photos down yourself.
Well, I can hardly leave the shop unattended while I go... I don't even know you, Fräulein.
I see. In that case, would you mind if I had a look upstairs myself?
Don't take it personally, Fräulein, but I don't know you enough to trust you. I'm very sorry. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fräulein, I have a customer.
I conjecture that you were inefficient in trying to persuade the shopkeeper, Kate Walker. How are you going to access the upper floors now?
I don't know, Oscar. But
Wrong one.
I was not.
That doesn't work. Must have got it wrong.
Kate Walker!
No, impossible.
if I could manage to draw Frau Heigl this way, I'd be able to get through the service door and to the staircase without her noticing. But how? Can't leave now. There are still things to do here. In loving memory of all those who lost their lives that terrible night. Protests in the neighborhood and a big storm coming tonight. I sure wouldn't want to be in the mayor's shoes right now. Anyway, I'd better focus back on Dana. Some of the names are covered up with dirt. How could I clean it?
Better try something else. No, that doesn't work.
One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Vaghen. Whoa! That's one shrill version of the hymn of Vaghen. One thing's for sure, this souvenir wasn't made in Vaghen.
What's that awful noise? Excuse me, sir. Ah, there it is. How awful! That certainly doesn't belong in my shop. We don't sell such cheap and tacky items.
Great. I don't think Frau Heigel's noticed a thing.
Why don't you try to locate Dana Roze's room, Kate Walker? Then you can look for more clues about her.
Good idea. Let's just hope Frau Heigel won't come up.